Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we live in a world that's always screaming more, more, more. But what if the secret to actually achieving more is to do less? Today, we're diving into essentialism, a really powerful idea from Greg McKeown's book that's basically an antidote to the chaos of modern life. So let me kick things off with a question, and I bet this one's going to hit home for a lot of you. Have you ever had one of those days, or heck, one of those weeks, where you just feel completely pulled in a million directions? You're always moving, you're answering emails, you're jumping from meeting to meeting, but when you finally stop, you feel like you haven't made any real progress on the things that actually matter. It's that awful feeling of being both overworked and underutilized. You know, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. That feeling, it has a name. It's the non-essentialist trap. And the book puts it perfectly. It's when we start majoring in minor activities. Let me show you what that looks like in the real world. To really see this in action, let's talk about this executive the author calls Sam Elliott. Now, Sam was a super capable, successful guy in Silicon Valley, but he was drowning. He said yes to absolutely everything because he wanted to be a team player, you know? But the result was a calendar just jammed with back-to-back meetings and calls. And what happened? His stress went through the roof, and the quality of his most important work just plummeted. And this, right here, this is the perfect way to picture it. All his energy was scattered. Instead of making real, meaningful progress on the stuff that mattered, he was just burning out. And he was frustrating himself and, ironically, the very same people he was trying so hard to please in the first place. He was just stuck. But, and this is the good news, there is a powerful way out of this burnout cycle. There's a totally different path, and it's called the way of the essentialist. Okay, so what is essentialism? It's really important to get this right. This isn't about being lazy or doing less just for the sake of it. No, it's a disciplined, relentless pursuit of less but better. It's about taking a breath and asking yourself, am I investing my time and energy in the right things? It's about channeling all that focus into only what is truly essential, so you can make your absolute highest contribution. And this image, wow, this just illustrates the whole idea perfectly. Look on the left. That's the non-essentialist. You've got all this energy, but it's scattered across a dozen different things. You're making tiny bits of progress everywhere, but no real impact anywhere. Now look to the right. That's the essentialist. They take that exact same amount of energy, but they focus it on just a few vital things, and boom, they create real, significant momentum. And that right there, that is a huge shift in how we think about things. The whole goal is to stop measuring how productive we are by how many boxes we tick off a to-do list. Instead, we start measuring our success by the actual impact and the quality of what we get done. But getting there, you know, it isn't just about learning a few new time management tricks. It really demands that we change some deeply rooted false ideas that, honestly, most of us carry around without even knowing it. Okay, this slide is where the rubber really meets the road. On the left, you've got the non-essentialist who feels trapped. They think, I have to do this, and they believe it's all important. It's such an easy trap to fall into, right? Social pressure, fear of missing out, it all pushes us to say yes. They buy into the myth that they can do both. But the essentialist, they operate from a place of power. They know I choose to. They understand that only a few things really matter, and they accept the reality of trade-offs. I can do anything, but not everything. And get this. Here's a fascinating little piece of history that really drives this home. For 500 years, the word priority was only ever singular. It meant the one, the very first, the single most important thing. It wasn't until the 1900s that we started talking about priorities, as if we could somehow defy logic and have a bunch of first things. Essentialism just brings us back to what the word originally meant. So, okay, that's the mindset, but how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Let's get into the system, because essentialism isn't just some nice idea. It's a discipline. It all boils down to this simple but super powerful 3-step cycle. First, you explore. This means you actually take the time to look at all your options and ask, which of these will make the absolute highest contribution? Second, you eliminate. This is the tough part, where you courageously say no to the good opportunities so you can make room for the truly great ones. And third, you execute. You build systems, you remove roadblocks, and you make doing the essential thing as smooth and effortless as possible. And this is so important to remember. This is not a one-and-done thing. It's not like you just clean out your closet once. New requests, new opportunities, they are always going to be coming at you. Applying this cycle of explore, eliminate, and execute is a constant discipline that keeps you laser-focused on what actually matters. And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway here. The whole reason this stuff matters so much. It's about taking back the power to choose how you spend your one wild, precious, and finite life. This quote just lays it all out there, doesn't it? It's the harsh but incredibly empowering truth at the heart of all this. If you don't deliberately decide what's important in your life, someone else will decide for you. Your boss, your clients, your family, their agendas will happily fill up your time, and you'll lose sight of what's truly essential to you. And that leads us to this, just a beautiful, profound challenge from the poet Mary Oliver. This question isn't about just being more productive so you can work more. It's about making sure the life you are so busy living is actually the one you want to be living, a life that feels true to who you are. So as we wrap this up, the final question isn't for me to answer. It's for you. By exploring your options, by eliminating what doesn't matter, and by executing on what does, you can start to design a life that truly answers that question. In your work, in your relationships, in your life, what is truly essential?